Everything you believe about GPS is wrong. It is not a map. It has no idea where you are. It is a clock. The most expensive, most precise, most important clock ever built. It hangs 20,000 kilometers above your head, and it whispers one thing over and over: the time. Your phone, your money, your electricity, and every plane in the sky are all listening. Economists priced what this clock has quietly generated: $1.4 trillion. And in January 2016, one old satellite was switched off, and clocks started lying all over planet Earth. This is the clock that runs the world, and almost nobody knows it exists. Here is what actually happens when your phone finds you. Your phone sends nothing to space, not a ping, not a signal, nothing. It only listens. Above you, each satellite broadcasts the same tiny message: here is where I am, and here is exactly what time it is. Radio travels at the speed of light, so the message from a farther satellite arrives a fraction later than the message from a near one. Your phone hears 4 of those whispers, compares the arrival times, and computes the only place on Earth where those times make sense. That's a GPS fix. It is not a location being given to you. It is a time puzzle being solved. And the puzzle only works if the clocks are almost unbelievably good. Light travels 30 centimeters in 1 nanosecond, 1/1000th of a second. If a satellite's clock is off by 1,000th of a second, your position is off by 300 kilometers. So every satellite carries something no wristwatch on Earth can match: atomic clocks. The whole idea was born from an accident of eavesdropping. October 1957.
Look, there it goes, right above.
Sputnik is overhead, and 2 young physicists in Maryland tune a radio to its beep just to hear it. They notice the beep's pitch bends as the satellite passes, and realize they can compute its exact orbit from sound alone. Then comes the thought that changes the century. If we know where the satellite is, it works in reverse. It can tell us where we are. An atomic clock doesn't tick. It counts the vibration of atoms. Cesium atoms hum at exactly 9,192,631,770 vibrations per second, always, everywhere in the universe. Count the hum, and you own time itself. The clocks aboard the satellites drift less than 1 second in 3 million years. But up there, something strange happens to time itself. Einstein predicted it a century ago. Gravity slows time. Speed slows time. Down here, deeper in Earth's gravity, your clock runs slower. Up there, their clocks run faster, by 38 microseconds every day. 38 microseconds sounds like nothing. It would break everything. Uncorrected, GPS would drift 10 kilometers per day. Within a week, your phone would place you in the wrong city. So the engineers did something beautiful. Before launch, they detuned every clock, set it to tick slightly wrong on Earth, so it would tick perfectly right in orbit. General relativity is not a theory in your physics book. It is a correction running inside your phone right now. The whole system is run by a few hundred people you will never meet. From a control room in Colorado, they nudge orbits, sync clocks, and upload the time to the sky. And then they give it away, free, to everyone on Earth. No account, no sign up, no off switch for your enemies either. Running it costs about $2 million a day. Using it costs nothing. Here is where the story turns, because position was never the important part. The world discovered that a free, perfect clock in the sky is useful for almost everything. Your phone call works because cell towers slice the airwaves into time slots thinner than an eye blink, timed by GPS. The power grid stays balanced because sensors across thousands of kilometers stamp their measurements with GPS time. The stock market runs on it. Regulators require trades to be time-stamped to within 100 microseconds. Every card payment, every bank transfer, every data center deciding which of two events happened first. Airports, ports, ambulances, broadcast towers, water systems, weather radar. None of these systems ask permission. They just quietly plugged into the clock in the sky. 10 entire industries now stand on GPS timing. Economists at the National Institute of Standards counted the value, $1.4 trillion. And if the clock stops, $1 billion lost. Per day. 1 billion. Per day. For a machine most people think is just maps. We know all this because the clock has already stumbled 3 times in 3 different ways. January 25th, 2016. The Air Force retires a 25-year-old satellite. Routine. But deep in the ground software, a bug wakes up. Half the constellation begins broadcasting the wrong time. Wrong by 13.7 microseconds, 13 millionths of a second. For 13 hours and 45 minutes, 15 satellites lied to the planet. Radio networks glitched. Telecom clocks alarmed on every continent. Timing labs watched the error ripple around the world twice before the fix caught up. 13 microseconds, and alarms went off on every continent. Now imagine 13 hours of total silence. Stumble number 2 came from a truck driver in New Jersey. He bought a $30 GPS jammer so his boss couldn't track him. Every day, his route took him past Newark Airport. And every day, the airport's brand new satellite landing system went blind for a few seconds. It took investigators 2 years to find him. $30 against the most important clock ever built. Stumble 3 is happening right now. Over the Baltic Sea, hundreds of airline crews report their navigation lying to them. Ships in the Black Sea see themselves teleport to airports miles inland.
Now.
Someone is broadcasting fake time, and fake time means fake position for everyone under the signal. Jamming shouts over the whisper, spoofing imitates it. Both are cheap. The clock is loud enough to run the world and quiet enough to drown in static. Here's the part that should genuinely worry you. There is no plan B. America once had a ground-based backup. Radio towers called Loran, built for ships in the 1950s. It was old. It was unglamorous. In 2010, it was switched off and torn down to save money. Congress passed a law in 2018 ordering a backup clock for the nation. It still doesn't exist. Data centers and exchanges keep their own atomic clocks that can coast through an outage for a while. But almost every backup clock on Earth has one job: stay synced to the sky. It's not a plan B, it's the same plan with a battery. The rest of the world noticed the danger before we did. Nobody wants to run their country on somebody else's clock. So Russia keeps GLONASS. Europe built Galileo. China spent decades building Beidou and finished it in 2020. There are now 4 clocks in the sky, owned by 4 powers that don't entirely trust each other. Your phone quietly listens to all of them, which is why your maps kept working the last time GPS stumbled, and why the next stumble is everyone's problem at once. We built a monoculture of time, one source, one failure mode, 8 billion dependents. So play it forward. Not a war, just a bad software day, like 2016, but one that doesn't fix itself by morning. Hour 1, navigation degrades, deliveries stall, rideshares vanish, planes fall back to older instruments and slow down. Day 1, cell networks tighten, calls drop in crowded cities, exchanges halt trading because they can no longer prove what happened first. Day 3, grid operators fly blind between regions. They shed load to stay safe. The lights start going out, politely, neighborhood by neighborhood. Nothing exploded, nothing burned. A whisper just went quiet. That's what makes this machine different from every other machine in this series. It doesn't stand in a valley in Germany or on a river in Louisiana. It falls around the Earth 16 sunrises a day, whispering the time to anyone who listens. The most load-bearing machine ever built weighs less than a school bus, and you will never see it.
Star doing?
The least we can do is know that it's up there.